I'm going to show you some useful Dominant 7 shell voicing inversions. If you're new to shell voicings, you might want to check out my shell voicing system video. I'll leave a link for that in the description. Before we get into the shell voicings, we're going to briefly talk about inversions. If you already know what chord inversions are, go ahead and skip ahead. A seventh chord of any type is made up of a root, which is the note the chord is built on, plus a third, fifth, and seventh. From low to high, you can arrange these notes in any order. If the lowest note is the root, the chord is in root position. If the lowest note is the third, the chord is in first inversion. If the lowest note is the fifth, the chord is in second inversion. And if the lowest note is the seventh, the chord is in third inversion. All the chords that I show you in my shell voicing system video are in root position, which is mostly what you'll play, especially if the guitar is the only accompanying instrument. That being said, shell voicing inversions are very useful as passing chords, and you can use them to fill out the harmony if you're playing with a bass player who's mostly going to be playing the roots. Personally, I find the first and second inversions to be most practical, so that's what we're going to look at. We're going to use all G7 chords in this video, but once you understand how to use the information, you can apply it to any root note. This is a root position G7 shell voicing. The root is on the 6th string, and we have a 7th and a 3rd. To change it to first inversion, we need to move our 6th string note, or our root, 4 frets higher so that the 3rd is the lowest note. We're moving 4 frets higher because the 3rd of a 7th chord is a major third, or 4 half steps, or 4 frets higher than the root. So this is our shell voicing for a first inversion 7th chord. We're playing the 3rd as the lowest note, and our other notes are the root and the 5th. Now, if you've studied theory, you might be thinking that a 7th chord needs, well, a 7th, and that this is actually a major triad in first inversion. And you're correct. You're getting 2 chords in one here. This can be played as a major triad in first inversion or a dominant 7 chord in first inversion. Once you've established the key, those 2 chords will work the same way. They serve the same function. They both lead to the 1 chord. So let's take a look at the second inversion 7th chord. Now we have the 5th as the lowest note, and this 5th is a minor third higher than the 3rd of the chord. So we play this 3 half steps, or 3 frets higher than the 3rd of the chord. There's our 5th. And this shell voicing includes the 5th, the 3rd, and the 7th. So this is a rootless voicing. I've included the root in the fretboard diagram for reference, but we're not going to play the root in this particular shell voicing. If you've studied shell voicings, you may already know this 7th chord shell voicing with the root on the 5th string. This second inversion shell voicing, it's actually the same chord. We're just playing the 5th as the lowest note and taking out the root. The best way to practice these inversions is to play them in chord progressions, so we're going to do just that. You're going to see some root position shell voicings here as well. I covered those in another video, but I'll include the diagrams in this video so you can play the progressions. We've got C major 7, D minor 7, G7 in first inversion, and C6. Same progression, but now we're going to play our G7 in second inversion. C major 7, D minor 7, G7 in second inversion, and C6. And a progression in C minor. C minor 7, F minor 7, G7 in first inversion, C minor 7. And the same progression, but now we're going to play our G7 in second inversion again. C minor 7, F minor 7, G7 in second inversion, and C minor 7. To play shell voicings, you need to at least know the names of the notes on strings 5 and 6. I've got some videos that can help with that. I'll leave links in the description. And for a more in-depth look at shell voicings, check out my book 3-Note Jazz Guitar Chords. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. And for more guitar lessons, please subscribe.